And welcome everybody to the Michigan Women's Hockey Coaches Show. We are here on remote because Regents Field is closed for the next few weeks due to renovation with the space next door. So we are virtual today. And today, head coach Jenna Tribbiano and I will look back at the last three games of the weekend and look forward to the CCWHA tournament. How are you doing, Coach Tribbiano?
Great. We have another weekend of hockey coming up.
Whoop. Let me stop. There we go. I just have myself repeating to myself, which is not a lot of fun. Okay, there we go. It always trips me up when I hear my voice about 30 seconds later. So let's start off talking about last Friday night when Michigan welcomed in Michigan Dearborn into Yost Ice Arena for a matchup between the number 6 and number 7 teams. Michigan got on the board first at the 18:03 mark in the first when Carr grabbed the puck on the near circle and weaved through the defenders to fire it from the slot. It was Carr's 12th goal of the season. Katie German had the assist. The first period was the only period that Michigan outshot Michigan Dearborn. Then at 8:19 in the second, Michigan got their second goal when Hansen stole the puck in her own zone, raced down to the near circle and sniped it in. This was Hansen's 11th goal. Flazar on the assist. At this point, Michigan is up 2-0. Michigan has come out slow in a number of games this season. What happened to give the team such a fast start in this game?
Yeah, it's interesting how we've been operating this season. Um, there was a lot of anticipation for the weekend in general, and I think that played into our energy and our start on Friday night for sure.
So after that, at 1:45, well, let's take a look. Michigan Dearborn answered back with Zafman scored on their lone power play with a blast from the top of the near circle. Spence and Schroeder on the assist. Then at 1:44, 1 minute 44 seconds later, Spence shot from the far corner. It deflected off upon its skate and slipped in. Evers had the assist, and all of a sudden the game was tied up. What did Michigan Dearborn do so well to come back in the game after Michigan had a 2-0 lead?
Yeah, Dearborn just got pucks on net. Um, both of those goals were kind of fluky. Um, but I mean that's what worked, right? So I hope we can think about that next time if we're ever down two goals. But yeah, they were just throwing everything at the net.
Absolutely. That's a rare one. Just we've had a couple deflections off of skates recently that have just caught us by surprise. And it doesn't happen often, but you just gotta shake your head and move on with it, right? So
Right.
at 1:45 into the third, Michigan took the lead back when Hansen had a breakaway and slipped it in blocker side high. That was her second goal of the game and 12th of the season. Flazar again had the assist, but less than 5 minutes later, Michigan Dearborn tied it up again as Schroeder placed the puck perfectly from the near circle. Finley had the assist. And then 4 minutes, 19 seconds later, Michigan Dearborn took the lead for the first time when Poneth made a great save, but O'Neill Damasio got the rebound and put it in. Perro had the initial shot that caused the rebound. Then Savage was able to put the icing on the cake for Michigan Dearborn with an empty net goal at 19:43. What are your overall thoughts on the game? It was a game that you had a 2 goal lead, then you had a 1 goal lead, and Dearborn just kept on fighting back. What were your overall thoughts on that game?
We need to be able to finish and we need to play angry.
Yeah,
We need to be able to finish and we need to play full 60 minutes, 20 minutes at a time. We can't get too happy, as Coach Ned would say, and it's important that after we do score and we do produce, we have a strong next shift, which is something we're going to be focusing on for tomorrow.
absolutely. And I mean, being able to go up by two and then being able to answer back and go up one more, you can compete with a team like University of Michigan Dearborn. You beat them at their place. It's just um, being able to handle when someone continuously comes back and have the mental fortitude to keep on fighting and get that lead again is something that's not easy, especially in a tightly contested game like that.
Right.
So the next night, Michigan welcomed in Lake Superior State to Yost for the first of two games against the Lakers. The evening started with a wonderful ceremony celebrating the five seniors: Katie Christensen, Meg Bryce, Megan Matthews, Jesse Simmer, and Robin Goldman. Meg Bryce wowed the crowd with a fantastic singing of the national anthem. Did you know she could sing like that, Coach?
I knew she was gonna sing, but I had never heard her sing like that before. So I think everybody was a little surprised and excited for her. She did a great job.
She did as well, if not better, than the music students that the
Yeah.
team brings in. It was impressive. Thankfully for nobody's ears, I never get to sing that because that would be horrible for everyone involved. But that's okay. My wife has had to do it every once in a while. Not too long after the puck drop, just 3 minutes and 43 seconds in to the first, Sam Carr got the scoring going again for Michigan. She took a loose puck in the slot, flipped it into the goal. Since the beginning of the year, Carr continues to average over a goal a game. Two seniors, Matthews and Simmer, on the assist. How important was it for you to try and get all of the seniors involved in that game?
It was something we had talked about. Um, Ultimately, it ended up in a loss. So we had to find that balance of what we felt was appropriate while also being competitive. Um, we felt we played the most competitive lineup with the lineup that we had.
That makes perfect sense. Lake State was able to tie the game 3 minutes, 16 seconds later when John saved the shot by Boyko, only to have Pop find the rebound and score to tie it up. Then Dixon scored on another rebound from a shot from Gibbs that bounced off to the far circles. The Lakers seemed really good at causing some chaos in the offensive zone. What were they doing that caused trouble for our defense?
Creating noise in front of the net, hunting the puck, finding the rebound. That's what really hurt us in that game.
Absolutely. Michigan was able to tie the game again when they scored the lone goal in the second. Matthews shot from the near circle and deflected it off of the defender's skate. Simmers then buried the loose puck, and the game was even. Carr got the second assist. It was tied going into the third. Michigan seemed to be controlling the offense in the third as they outshot the Lakers 12-4 in that period. Helping the shots was the fact that Michigan had 4 power plays in that period, but it was a Lake State shorthanded goal that broke the tie. Heather Lamb took a block shot on a breakaway and scored at the 15:47 mark in the third. A shorthanded goal like that can really sometimes deflate a team. How important was it to get that game tied up quickly after that?
It was super important. We still had a lot of time on the power play, and we knew we've been working on our power play a lot. So we knew we were going to get opportunities. We just had to capitalize on those opportunities.
And something that I noticed every time we played them this season, Lake State has been really, really good at blocking shots. How is that when you have a team that's just really good at blocking shots and back checking and creating chaos there? How do you kind of deal with that? Is that something that, because that can turn into quick turnovers like that?
Right. You need to move your feet, move the puck, and create new lanes. If they're going to clog up the initial lane, you've got to throw a little deception in there, keep our feet moving, and support the puck ultimately. It's not one person that's gonna win or lose the game. It's all 6 players on the ice. So that's what it came down to.
Absolutely. So, well, on the exact same power play that the shorthand goal was scored on, Swanson took a shot from the corner of the near circle. The rebound came out to Lindahl, who blasted the shot in. Malashevsky had the second assist. Michigan kept the puck in the Laker end for the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds of the game, but could not get it past Pasemko. The game headed over into overtime. I know you've been kind of playing with the lines this second half of the season, getting everything figured out with a new player coming in. How much have you had a chance to practice with those the 3-on-3 overtime scenario and kind of get those lines sorted out the way you want?
It's something we work on usually once a week.
Nice.
Some 3v3. This weekend it'll be 4v4. If we get to overtime, so that's something we've thought about, and we're obviously creating our lineup to be the most competitive for any situation. So it is something that we talk about and we practice. We had opportunities at the start of that overtime period, but ultimately it wasn't enough. We missed some passes that should have been tape to tape, and we had the players we felt we needed to have on the ice to get the job done, but ultimately we didn't.
Lake Superior did score 1 minute into the overtime when Heather Lamb fired a shot from the high slot that passed the goal on the right and then bounced off of the dasher, came back to the left, where Sarah Lamb found the back of the net. I know that Yost has some lively dashers. I am not sure I've ever seen a perfect ricochet like that happen. I know it's not very much fun to lose, especially on senior night. How was the locker room after the game?
Not super excited. Thankful we had an opportunity on Sunday to respond though, so that was the message. Like, just we got to show up tomorrow. Got to show up tomorrow. We got to be ready and finish strong.
Absolutely. How hard is it? I mean, that's something that this team hasn't had to deal with a lot of losing throughout the season, and trying to kind of brush off a loss, especially on a big 3 game weekend where you have the senior game, you have Michigan Dearborn, a big game. Like, these games mean a lot. Does that make it harder to brush off a loss, or just kind of just reset and focus?
Yeah, I think we have to reset and focus, and at the same time, it's something we can learn from. Um, we didn't have our first loss of the season until we were up in Traverse City. So we've been through it. We know we can respond. Um, I would say both of those games we should have won. And that's what hurts the most is we should have won those games.
Yeah. Yeah.
So um yeah, we're fired up and we're ready to play tomorrow, that's for sure.
Fantastic. Now, a little fun piece here. Sunday, Michigan played the last home game of the regular season. Don't believe it came so quickly,
I
but
know.
unbelievable. They played versus Lake Superior State. The junior Lady Sting were in attendance, a U11 team from Sarnia, and they got a really cool experience at Yost. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Coach?
Yeah, it was something that we had coordinated back in September. Um, so President Ono's office, they I think in September they had told us or announced to us that they were going to reimburse us for ice bill, which is really, really special
Yeah.
considering that's our largest fixed cost per season. Um, so I had just sent an email. Well, actually, I had a brief exchange on social media with President Ono, but I sent an email and let him know that we had a jersey for him and we'd love to present him with the jersey or whatever he was willing to do for us. So I sent the list of our home games, and in November I heard back that February 18th would work best. So it's something that's been on the radar for a little bit. But in terms of like the team, we told them about a week before, just to make sure everybody was prepared, everybody was ready. It wasn't a surprise. So they were really excited to see President Ono and his support group at the game supporting us as a women's ice hockey program, and obviously dropping the puck too, which was really cool and really special.
Absolutely.
And I'm thankful that that was something that he wanted to do as well.
Yeah, very cool. They have the Santa Ono, the president of Michigan, there, ceremonial dropping of the puck. It was awesome that you guys got him the jersey. Totally matched Katie German's jersey there, and had
Mm-hmm.
his name on the back. So that was cool to see. And he stayed for the whole game, right? He was
Yeah,
he was in the corners cheering on, and it's fantastic to get to see someone that high profile attend the game, support the team multiple seasons in a row. We can't thank President Ono enough for all of his wonderful role, and hope to see him at more games. Um,
definitely.
and that would be wonderful. You guys did have a junior team from Sarnia, Canada, come in and they got to talk to you folks in the locker room a little bit and got a tour. How did that work out with the junior Sting?
Yeah, so usually what happens is we'll get inquiries on our website or people will reach out to me directly to set some sort of interaction with our team up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had the South visitors locker room, so we had a space where we could bring everybody in and answer questions that they had about our program. Um, so we actually had 3 teams on Saturday, back to back to back, that came in for a tour, met some players. So thankfully, we had a lot of our players super interested in helping out. But yeah, usually people will just reach out to me and I'll try my best to accommodate them because ultimately it's about us giving back and hopefully they got something positive out of the experience and they learned something about women's hockey at Michigan. Um, yeah, ultimately that's the goal. So I'm happy that it worked out.
It seemed awesome, and the video they posted on social media on Instagram was fantastic.
So
And
cool.
you definitely had every player in that locker room, all the young ladies' attention as you folks were speaking, and uh, it is cool to see just the look in their eyes of knowing that this is something that I can do in the future. I could play and have an opportunity at this level if I work hard,
Yeah.
and it's it is so cool to see. And again, they all raced to the end where when Michigan was skating off the ice and gave high fives, and that's just fun to see as well. So after President Ono dropped the puck, once the puck dropped, the action was even early. No goals in the first. 6:21 in the second. Hansen scored her third goal on the weekend as she took a pass from Plazar and perfectly placed the shot in the upper right-hand corner. How much pressure did the team feel coming into this game, knowing that a 3-game losing streak at the end of the season could possibly force Michigan out of the top 10, make them do a lot of work in the CCWHA tournament to get the nationals? Was that a pressure that the team felt?
I know I felt it as a coach. Yeah, I mean, nobody likes to lose. At least I don't like to lose.
Indeed.
Um, but yeah, it was nice because our power play converted and it was a play we specifically talked about before the game. Obviously, seeing a lot of the Lake State penalty kill the night before. So
Yeah.
it was great to see the adjustment that our players made on the ice and capitalize on that adjustment too. I didn't see the goal in real time because I was looking at my sheet. But I did watch it back on the broadcast and it was actually from a really crazy angle. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was a nuts angle. And man, we have a lot of great goal scorers on this team, but Hansen's placement of the puck in the net is just outstanding. She seems to find that top right or left hand corner
Yep,
just consistently, and it's impressive. It's very impressive.
definitely. I agree.
At 13:54 in the second, Michigan took a 2-0 lead when Malashevsky passed the puck across the top of the crease over to Swanson on the far circle. The puck kind of arced off of her stick, went right over Tkachuk's shoulder. That might have been Michigan's best period of the weekend. What was going so right in that period that the shots on goal were going? You took a 2-0 lead. What was going well in that period?
Positive energy. Lots
Nice.
of positive energy. Um, we made some changes on bench management, which I think helped too. But ultimately, it's about momentum. And when you don't have the momentum, you have to find ways to get it back. And part of that is staying positive, getting pucks deep, just grinding the other team and forcing them to make mistakes, which is what we did.
Indeed, yeah. Coach Ned mentioned he saw that you and Coach Upton had got switched positions on the bench. So,
Yeah.
was that did that feel a little weird for you not being in your normal position, or?
A little bit, yeah. When we were at Penn State, I obviously was by myself and had to manage, the forwards and the defensemen.
Indeed.
Um, so it was somewhat of an adjustment for me, but ultimately it was what made sense for that game.
Absolutely.
And I think it worked out well. So we'll probably
Fantastic.
continue that.
Perfect. Michigan got their third goal of the evening when Bucksbaum shot from the top of the near circle. The puck deflected off of the defender and went in. This was Bucksbaum's first goal as a Wolverine, and she got it with the last Michigan goal of the regular season after a tough first 2 games of the weekend. How nice was it to have a 3-goal lead in the third?
It's nice, but you have to play the full 20 minutes in the third
Absolutely.
period. So, um, yeah, we got a little bit of puck luck there. She threw it towards the net. It deflected, I think, off of a defenseman's skate and went in. So it was nice to see we could get some puck luck over the course of the weekend too.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I was excited for her, and Ned dropped off a puck Monday before practice, and I I gave it to her. So yeah, that's special. Hopefully she'll hang on to that for a long time.
Absolutely. And I apologize on the broadcast. I called out Bucksbaum. I hadn't realized it was her first goal of the season. So definitely want to celebrate that on this coaches show, and fantastic work. And it's never bad to get a little scoring from the blue line to help out, right?
Right,
So
exactly.
now, Lake Superior never quit. They continued to play tough at 2:56 in the third. Heather Lamb took a shot from the high slot. Gibbs was battling out front of the crease and was able to redirect the shot for the final goal of the game. What were your overall thoughts of that game, and then for the weekend as a whole?
It was a good win. It was a team win, and we need to use that momentum and that energy for this weekend for the CCWHA playoffs. We have a schedule, and we know most of the teams that we're going to end up playing. So we really need to bring it. We need that positive energy. It's the start of spring break, so hopefully the students will be able to focus on hockey for 3 days, and yeah, we'll be able to get the job done.
Fantastic. And indeed, the team is back in action tomorrow for the CCWHA playoffs at the Crystal Fieldhouse in Burton, Michigan. They play the second D1 game of the night, and let me actually share here my screen and see if we can make that happen. So if we can see the CCWHA here, they're going to play the second game, and that is going to be right here.
I think this might be wrong.
Yeah, this looks like it's wrong because I have from what you said that we got from the commissioner, it's going to be 7:30. That'll be the D1 second game there, and Michigan will be playing Miami. As Miami actually was able to get past Lake Superior State coming into the weekend. Lake State was the number 2 team in the West Pod, and now they were able to Miami was able to sneak past. So Michigan will play Miami as they. Miami is the second place team in the West Pod with 9 wins, 10 losses, and 1 overtime loss. All 9 wins came against CCWHA foes. Miami is 14th in the ACHA. Miami was swept by Niagara, Maryville, Michigan Dearborn, and Adrian. They lost 1 game to McKendree and Liberty, and they split versus Indiana Tech and Lake Superior State. They beat and tied Aquinas and swept Penn State, Grand Valley, and Davenport. Miami has a goal differential of +7. Michigan's is +38. What does Michigan have to do to beat Miami and have a successful CCWHA tournament?
We need to play a team game. Like I've said, it's not one person that's going to win or lose the game for us. We have to work cohesively as a 6-person unit to get the job done.
Fantastic. And if Michigan is able to win the game here on Friday, then they will play on Saturday, and they will either play Michigan Dearborn at 3:30. So that's going to be one of the semifinals. Again, this looks like this might be a little bit wrong, but 3:30. Let me make sure I have that right. Yeah, 3:30 Michigan Dearborn, or Indiana Tech at 6:30 p.m. So Michigan could play one or the other. It's interesting taking a look because if you take a look at the overall standings, it does look like Indiana Tech is tied in points with Michigan Dearborn. So typically, if both an East and a West team wins, they'll try and cross it off, and the East pod will play the West team that got the bye, and the West will play the East that got the bye. If both Adrian and Michigan win, Adrian would be the higher rated team. They would probably play the second team, which may be University of Michigan Dearborn. But again, with these points set right at 24, it is hard to tell. So it could be either the 3:30 game or the 6:30 p.m. game at Saturday. The championship game is on Sunday at 3:30. You can see that right there. It's going to be the D1 championship at 3:30. The 3 o'clock must just be ice time when the ice is there. You can get.
I don't know if this is. I just wanted to add to this.
Please.
Going back to the standing. So Indiana Tech had 130 penalty minutes, and Dearborn had 139. So Indiana Tech is the number 1 seed overall.
Gotcha. Okay, so then it would make sense if both Adrian and Michigan won. Michigan should play Indiana Tech. Adrian should play Michigan Dearborn, as Indiana Tech would play the lower seeded team since they were the number 1. Is how I believe it works, but always check.
I believe that you are correct.
It has to happen every once in a while. I say enough stuff. I have to be right every once in a while. So, but we'll see. Again, keep an eye out on this website and take a look. And obviously, if Michigan wins, as soon as we know who they're playing the team, and we will tweet that out. If you're looking for tickets, by the way, you can go right to this website. It is ccwhad1.achhockey.hockeytech.com. I know it's a little bit of a mouthful, but once you kind of get the hang of it, it's not too bad. Make sure you get the Hockey Tech site there, okay? Because the old site is still out there. So make sure you get to this one. This is what the main page looks like. If you're looking for tickets, what you can do is you can click right here on the main page for tickets, and that will take you to this window where full weekend access passes are $75. You can get a day pass for $30 or single game passes for $10. So make sure you get your tickets in advance. They do mention that the price will go up at the door. So if you can do that, you're going to show your phone when you come into into Burton at the Crystal Field House. Let me see if I can collapse that. There we go. As far as broadcasting goes, if you can't make it, the games will be streamed on Flow Hockey. Again, that's Flow, FLO, hockey.tv, and you can see that right in the sign up. You can come in and sign up. And if you do, this is what I put in an email. I don't know if they'll have an event price. Sometimes Flow Hockey has an event price for a tournament, but monthly plans here are $29.99 and $12.50. Again, this is not us. This is a different broadcast group. So we've done what we can. I know you folks have donated to us, and thank you very much. So we will not charge anyone for our games. That's something that we believe very firmly in. So this is just the way they win. So I just want you to know it's not us charging you. But if you do get this, Flow Hockey is also the group that Nationals goes with, ACHA Nationals. So I still have a subscription from last season for Nationals. I got the annual subscription, so I could because I'm a total geek and I wanted to watch the teams and scout out the opposing teams because apparently I have too much time in hotels. But if you can't make it out or you want to see the other teams, if you get your plan, you may well be able to make sure that you continue that subscription through Nationals there. So just something to think about and talk about there. Any other thoughts about Nationals coming up, or anything else you wanted to mention before playoffs get underway tomorrow, Coach?
No, we just got practice tonight, so it's time to finalize everything and be ready for tomorrow.
And we didn't mention, but Michigan did drop to number 9 in the ranking. So we're right at that edge of the top 10. So if you are watching other conference championships, what we're rooting for is we're rooting for those top 10 teams to win the conference championships and to do well, so no one sneaks in and bumps some teams down. Do you kind of have in mind a certain number of games you want to make sure the team wins so you can feel comfortable trying to make sure you get into Nationals, or is it just win every game you can and not worry about that and let the chips fall where they may?
Well, if we win 3 games, we get an auto bid. So that's
there you go.
Absolutely.
Scenario. That's what to focus on, absolutely. And it won't be easy. There's a lot of good teams in the CCWHA, but a CCWHA tournament championship would be a lovely thing to have. So
I agree.
we want to thank Regions Field for hosting when we can be live. Again, they're shut down, I believe, for the next 3 weeks due to renovation next door. You know, save your time and head out to Regions Field when they're back and open. But we appreciate them hosting us when we can be there. We want to thank all the seniors for their hard work with this team throughout their careers. It's been a privilege to get to watch them. I know they're going to go on and do amazing things. It was also fantastic to see so many alumni back this weekend as well. There were a lot of alumni I saw walking around, and that was so cool. So we appreciate everyone who is a former team member coming back and spending some time with the team. And thank you. You're always welcome. And then we also want to thank, obviously, the Junior Lady Sting, President Ono, and everyone who came out to the game. It was a great crowd, lots of folks, and thank you for watching and supporting this amazing team. Say hello if you see us out in Burton, and we're very grateful. Any last comments, Coach, before we wrap it up?
I'm just excited for tomorrow.
Absolutely. We'll have a great time in the playoffs. Hopefully, have a very successful time in the playoffs. Go blue and see you.